information to share too. So are we recording now?
We're recording now.
Okay. Hi guys. No, I'm just kidding.
I just started it, so.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So whenever I talk about parties, we know most of us don't call them parties. We call them online events or whatever. So I might talk about parties, but I mean your online events, whatever. I took my notes and I kept writing parties whenever I was writing my notes. And then I'm like, why am I writing parties? Because I don't like that word. But anyway, we are a partying company. We're an online makeup company. And something that Bree kept like saying in the beginning of her video that she did, the training that she did, was that if you are not scheduling parties, that your business is going to suffer. You have to have your parties scheduled in order for your business to grow. And it's because you use your parties to network. And if you are not networking, if you're not partying, then your sales will also be suffering because of that. And for me, what I took out of her video was that we need a total refocus. So many times I have thought, oh my gosh, I got parties on the books. This means I'm going to get instant sales. I'm going to be able to just like boost my PRS this month because I have parties on the books. And I always looked at parties as a way of making your sales, right? But, and I know that they've always taught us like connect with people in your parties. But for me, and I've done hostess coaching, but sometimes whenever you tell somebody like, hey, invite this many, like X number of friends to your party or your online event, half the time they don't really listen. They'll just do what they want. And people in, the party world, sometimes they're used to just inviting a mass number of people. And for one, your customers and your friends and stuff, they will not like that. If your, your hostess adds like 200 friends, most people want to check out because it's overwhelming for them and they don't feel like it's personal. They feel like they just got mass added to a group and that you're not actually making any kind of connection with them. So, and that's what I thought. I thought like, oh my gosh, I have this hostess, and like my mom and I have even done parties at the same time before, right? And my hostess may have added like 200 people and her hostess added like 20 or 30. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so many people in my party. It's going to be amazing. And her party only has like 30, 40 people. It's going to suck. And you know who ended up with more sales or more connections from the party? My mom, because I had so many people that it was overwhelming. So many people left the group. I like to do my parties in groups. I know Cheryl's an events girl, so that's kind of different for us. But I would see people just like checking out of the group. The number of the group started declining. And I was not able to personally message that many people because it's too many people. And that's something that Bree really talked about, is totally refocusing your business and reprogramming yourself to think that parties are not just about sales, but they're your gateway to making new connections in your business. And getting in your head that online events are your way of, sorry guys, I'm trying to like move my notes because they're like flying around. I just don't want to miss anything, and I have to have notes. Getting in your head that online parties are your way for getting your face and your products in front of people and making new connections and expanding your network. If you are trying to promote and you want to be successful with the business, you have to get past your warm market. As much as we want just the people that are already on our friends list to support us, it's not going to happen with just those people. You have to reach out to new people. And even if you just look like throughout our team, most of the people that are on my team, maybe even on Cheryl's team, it's not people that I was friends with before Unique. It's people that I've met through parties, through online parties, at-home parties, vendor events, or friends of friends, which I met somehow through some type of party or something. It's not my immediate friends. Majority. I do have a few, but most of them are not my immediate friends. So you have to expand and make those new connections outside of your warm network. And if you have in your mind that parties are for the sales, and you get those dud parties, maybe where your hostess is checked out or your audience isn't very engaging, then it's almost disappointing because you go into there thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to have all these sales. And then you hit a party that has no sales, or your hostess doesn't get her rewards. And then you're like, oh my gosh, 0 sales. This is it, you know? But if you go into it with the mindset of I'm going to make connections, and you don't even worry about the sales, then there's no way for you to fail, because you have the right mindset going into it. You're working on making connections, and when you make those connections, even if it doesn't turn into a sale now, it can turn into a sale in the future. So having that mindset, I feel like, keeps you more in check, like with what's going on. All right, so let's see. I think it's really important, which Bree was talking about this, the training that I did with Sherry, the Sherry Brown training that I watched. It was like a 2-year-old training, and she was talking about doing lash bashes and focusing just on mascara parties. And I think it's definitely time to go back to that. We have so many products, and it's so easy whenever you are hosting a party that you jump from product to product. I'm really bad about that. If I don't have a plan and I wait till the last minute to post something, I'm like, what do I post about? What do I post about? Lip stain. And then the next post, it's like, what do I post about? What do I put? Foundation. And people get so checked out because there's no order. And if you focus on lashes, it gives you a starting place. And especially right now, because I definitely think, you know, our 3D Fiber Lash Plus, well, our 3D Fiber Lashes in the very beginning was our gateway drug product. Like, that was what everybody got hooked on, and then they would take the steps into the other products. And I definitely think with our new Esteem and our Epic products, even combined with the 3D Plus, are like a trio of amazingness. And I feel like when you focus on these products, even if people don't buy all 3 products, maybe they just get the Esteem, or maybe they just get the Epic, that they will try it, they will fall in love with it, and then they will be ready to, you know, move on and purchase more products. So I definitely think taking it back to lash parties is going to be really great, because it keeps a narrow focus. We're not going to be overwhelming our audience. Another thing in your parties that is very important is to stay checked in. It's very easy to forget what you're doing if you don't have like a calendar, or you don't have your parties set up to automatically post, or, you know, you get busy throughout the day and you think, oh my gosh, it's like 7 o'clock at night and I didn't post in my party today. I know it's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to multiple of you. So you have to be consistent in your parties, because if you are expecting your guests to show up, you have to show up. Because, you know, if you're not posting, they see that. They see that there's an absence in the party, and nobody wants to come hang out with you when you're not there. Cheryl is going to discuss some ideas and information on automatic like postings for your parties. I think there's like Cinch Share and Hootsuite. I know she has more experience with those. I personally have not used those. Especially being in Germany, because I'm kind of later. So even if I forget to post, it's still early in the States. So it's kind of good with my parties right now. But being in the States, it's definitely a good option. And it's a good option if you have to work throughout the day, things like that. So you have like an automatic poster. And, you know, even when we were at convention, Cheryl was using the posting site, and it was posting to her parties that she had going. And we would be like getting out of a class, and I get a notification on my phone. It's like, Cheryl just posted in her party. I'm like, no, she didn't. She's standing right here. But she did, because she had it set up to automatically post for her, which is genius. So she's going to talk more about those. But I definitely recommend you to post in your party 3 times a day, at least. Stay engaged, stay checked in. You need to be posting pictures and videos. And remember that your party is just like the storefront. That's where you're going to post your pictures, your videos, things like that. But even if you imagine a real business, you know, your party page is like the window in the front, okay? There's still business that goes on inside of the business, right? Inside of the closed doors, there's business that happens. That's where the main transactions take place. And you have to do this little behind the scenes work in your business as well. If it's group or if it's like chats, the one-on-one chats with your customers or these people that you're connecting with, you have to make these connections inside the party, inside of the business. You must be personally messaging people and connecting with them that way. And like I said before, you would think a party with more numbers would be more beneficial and successful because of a higher chance for sales, but that's wrong because we don't want to focus on sales. We want intimate and smaller parties because you can make those connections with people. And what Bree was talking about in the training she did was keeping it between 15 to 30 people in the party so you can make those connections. And something that I really loved and that like really stuck with me is a lot of times you're like, okay, so she's told me I need to private message. I have like 15, 20 people in a party. She told me I need to private message these people in the party. What am I going to say? You, at least me, I would think like the first thing you would be like is like, hey, Sarah, have you ever tried the Epic Mascara or something like that? Because obviously we love our products and we want to share about them. But what Brie was talking about is like really focusing on making a connection with something that this person relates to. And the main thing that they relate to is their friend that invited them to this party. So I really love the idea about messaging these people and asking like, hey, how do you know the hostess? And you just get an authentic conversation started, but you're not bringing up the makeup. You're not bringing up Unique. You're just talking about the hostess, your common thread with this person. And then from there, you can make a connection. And then at the end of talking to them, you can always say, hey, like, I'm always trying to make new friends, or I'm friend collecting, and I shot you a friend request, and add them as a friend. And then from there, they don't have any pressure, and they will be on your Facebook page. And as long as you're doing everything right on your Facebook page, posting authentic posts about Unique and adding Unique within like lifestyle posts and not being salesy and spammy and whatever, and not posting nothing about Unique, right? Then they will see Unique on your page, and you can pique their interest there. So they might not purchase right in this party. They might, but they might not. And if they don't, though, there's a good chance that they'll purchase later, or that even at the end of the party, if you ask like, hey, does anybody want to help so-and-so earn free makeup, they might be more willing to book a party because they feel like they know you now, right? It's not just like you're asking strangers to book parties. Now you're asking somebody you've actually had a conversation with to host a party for you. So I thought that was really good. Remember to just keep in the mindset that parties are going to equal new contacts, and new contacts equals potential for your business and maybe a future generation of sales. So some other tips that I wanted to leave you guys with is, remember when someone purchases in the party to do public thank yous. I think that is so important, because when you post saying, thanks, Sue, for your purchase of the mascara or whatever, and you post a picture of the mascara or whatever you post, thank you graphic with her name on it, whatever. Other people are like, whoa, Sue bought the mascara. I better go check that out. We are all like that. I don't know why our brains work like that. I don't know if it's just women, but when somebody wants it, I want it too. Like if I'm out shopping and somebody else has something, I'm like, I want that. Where'd you get that? So it's the same thing with online. Like it is when you, even when I'm doing a flash sale sometimes in my VIP group, guys, if nobody is commenting on anything, like claiming anything, nobody else, like everybody else is silent. I'm like, where are the people at? As soon as people start coming in and swooping up items, it's like a fight over everything. Like that's just how we work. I don't know why, but that's how it works. So you have to publicly thank people, because other people see that and they're picking up. And it also shows people want the products and people are buying the products. So definitely make sure you do public thank yous. I really, really highly suggest no graphics. And one thing that Sherry Brown really talked about in her video, which I thought was really smart, is if you are talking about the mascara, for instance, Epic Mascara, and you have all these pictures on your phone, right, of ladies with awesome Epic Mascara on one eye and nothing on the other, right? We think, oh my gosh, like this girl looks good with her epic and this one looks good. And so you're going in there and you're posting and you select like 5 pictures at one time because you're so excited and all these people look so great with their epic. But she said, imagine if you're in the grocery store and you're the customer and you have your phone and you're scrolling through your Facebook really fast when you're in the checkout line or whatever, and you see this picture, like a 5 pictures, or sometimes, if you post too many pictures, it says like +3 over the last little picture, or however, whatever. It looks too cluttered. It looks too spammy, and people don't have time usually to actually click on it and scroll through all those pictures. She said, pick out one good picture and post one picture at a time, because anything more than that, it's too overwhelming. It's too much. People don't have time for it. They are not going to click on it. They're not going to look at it. And even this goes for your little blurbs too. Try to really focus on sorry, my phone's falling. Try to not like post a huge paragraph about the products and their ingredients and things like that. I used to be so bad about that. I'd be like, oh, and our 3D 5 Lash Plus contains this and this, and it's so healthy for your lashes, and this and this. Oh, and it's ophthalmologist approved. Like, you could go on forever, right? But don't, because people don't have time to read all of that. If they ask you in a message, then you can tell them more about it, right? But don't post all of that on there. Short and sweet and to the point. If it doesn't have to be said, don't say it. And I honestly think I get more interaction whenever I'm just like, oh my gosh, check out those lashes. That's it. I don't even have to say the name of the product. I don't have to say anything, because then people are like, oh, those lashes are nice. Like, it's simple. It's easy. Don't stress. You got this. Okay. So, the other thing is, don't post too many products. Like I said, I really think we should focus on just the lash parties, because it's focused. You can focus on one thing. We're not all over the place. And then hostess coaching during your party, before your party, during your party. Help your hostess out. Give her some direction, because if you don't give her any direction, there's a good chance she's just going to be absent, and you don't want that. You want to, if you only want her to invite 30 people to the party or 20 people to the party, tell her that. Or else she's just going to do whatever she thinks. And if you want her to send out little invites, you can make up cute little graphic invites and have her shoot those to her 15 people in their inbox, and they can respond, and then she can add them to the group, something like that. If you want her to be tagging her friends in the post or sharing the post, ask her to do it, because people can't just read your mind, and there's a good chance they're not going to do it. Ask them to do it, because if, your hostess is tagging her friends in the post, they trust her more than they trust you, because they're friends with her, not with you. So a lot of times they might be like, oh, this crazy lady's posting, but I don't know her and I'm not going to listen to her. But if their friend's tagging them in it saying, hey, you're going to look great in this mascara, you should try it out, they're probably going to listen to her. So coach your hostess. And the last thing that I have to say, and I got this from Sherry Brown's video and I really liked it, is different recipes work for different crowds. So remember that if you have a party, the same thing's not always going to work. You will have the dud parties. Sometimes you got to change it up, and what works for Cheryl, what works for Narelle, what works for Kim might not work for me. So find your niche, find what works for you, and run with it. So that's what I had to say. I know Cheryl has some stuff to share, so now I'll be quiet and let her talk.
Sorry, I was writing down what you just said. I'm going to add to that a couple of things. Make sure that you're not posting your link on every single post that you put into these in these things, because if you post your link on every single thing, Facebook's new algorithm will end up blocking that, and they'll start deleting your stuff or putting you in Facebook jail. So that's something new in the algorithm. So be sure not to do that. Another thing, I was watching some training last night from someone named Ashley Shimpani, or Shiapi. I don't know who she is, but I was watching some training of hers last night, and I was really interested in some of the things that she said. She gets sales like it's nobody's business. And so people were saying things to her like, well, I can't do like you. I can't get sales like you. And so she made this video talking about how anybody could do what she does, that it's that they don't want to. And I was pretty interested to hear what she had to say. This was, she made this training in December. So in December of 2015, she asked 152 people to host parties for her, and 14 said yes. She asked 10, yeah, that's what I thought. She asked 10 people to join, and only one joined. So that month, she had a PRS of $3,390. But she had 14 parties. She asked 152 people. This past December 2016, she asked 321 people to host parties for her. 28 people hosted parties. She asked 70 girls to join, and 7 joined her team. So her PRS for last December was $5,193. So if we want to have high numbers, we have to ask more people. And I know that's something that even I still like struggle with. Like, I'll ask people to host a party, and I'll ask 3 or 4 or 5 people, and I'm like, gosh, nobody said yes. And then I get discouraged. I don't want to keep asking because I'm like, I don't want people to like start to think I'm annoying or be mad at me or whatever. But I mean, she's obviously killing it here. Like, I would love to have her commission checks just for the commission on that PRS alone, right? Another thing is people are on social media for 3 reasons. And so if your posts aren't hitting one of those reasons, then it's not even worth putting up there because they're just going to scroll past it. They want to connect with you. So your posts need to connect with you, or it needs to teach them something new, or it needs to entertain them. One of those 3 things. If it's not there, it shouldn't be on Facebook at all. Whether that's on your Facebook personal wall, because your wall is your business, right? So if it's not hitting one of those things, then it's not worth putting up there. Another thing that I just learned last night, and I'm going to be switching up for myself, is that if you upload your videos to your business page, they will, and then you share them from there into your parties, they will autoplay. So people won't have to click into them. They won't have to make them play. They'll autoplay. So if you are being crazy in your video, or like this morning I went through all the filters on Facebook Live, it would autoplay for people if I was sharing it from my business page. And it doesn't necessarily always do that. So I know sometimes it does because I'll see YouTube links autoplay, but sometimes it doesn't. And that's part of why. If it's a Facebook thing, it will autoplay. So everything else that I had written down, Becca pretty much covered. So I want to talk about the auto posting sites. And I'm still waiting, Narelle. I've got messages out. I keep checking over here. I've already checked. I don't know. Do you do your? Hold on. I have to unmute you. Do you do your parties in groups or events?
Events.
Okay. So Hootsuite is only good for groups, and you can use it to post in 3 different groups. But that could be your personal page. It could be your business page. And it could be a group. So for free. So if you're wanting to post in like 3 parties and have it post to your business page, it's not, you're going to have to pay for the membership. Now the membership is only $10 a month, and you can do up to 50 things. Now I'm never going to have 50 parties going at once. So that would be a lot. I would never be able to keep up with that. That you cannot use Hootsuite in events. Now, there's one, and this one I know you can use in Australia. It's called Post My Party. It posts your party, like if you're having a business event or you're wanting to make sales, you can only use this one in events. You cannot use it. You can use it to post in groups or to post on your page, but if it's a salesy post, it will get blocked. And that one is $9.95 a month. Or the one that I'm choosing to use, I used Post My Party, and I was not really all that impressed with it, only for one reason. And that is it puts a big blurb at the bottom of your post saying posted by Post My Party. And so it's really obvious to people that you're not protected. Yeah. So I used it. That's what I used while I was at convention. And it worked. It did the job. But I would prefer something that doesn't show people, so make it so obvious that I'm not really there. And that is, Hootsuite is like that. And then another one called Cinch Share. And Cinch Share, you can use it to post in events or in groups. It's $10 a month, or it's $8.84 monthly. There is no free option with them.
What was that one called?
It's called Cinch Share. So it's CINCHSHARE. Now, there are other ones out there. There are lots of them. I went through tons of them last night. But these seem to be a little bit more friendly to direct sales. Some of them were really complex to use, or they didn't seem like they would really fit the needs that I felt like I needed, and I felt like all of us needed. I felt like some of them made it really difficult to use in parties on a normal basis. This one you can use in events or groups. And it's a little bit more, Post My Party makes it really easy for you just to schedule a whole party and walk away. And you could do it in one click and you're done. Whereas Cinch Share, you have each post you have to pull to the new party. So it's a little bit more involved, but from what I was I've only used it once. I just used it a little bit ago. You can go look on my Facebook personal wall and see how it shows up, because I put a picture up earlier just so I could see exactly how it was going to show up. And it just has a little thing under my name that just says Cinch Share. And so you can't actually, unless you know what it is, it's not something that most people are even going to look at. The great thing about this is, like when we were at convention, I posted an entire party during those 5 days, and I got on, I checked my notifications, but I would get a message every once in a while and be like, what the heck are they talking about? I haven't posted anything. And I have to go back and look, because I was so into convention that I wasn't even thinking about my parties. I was checking them and I was, all that, but I wasn't as in tune as I normally would be. But even in my personal life on a day-to-day basis, there are days when it's late and I'm like, oh my gosh, that party, especially on the weekends. Oh my gosh, that party. I completely forgot about that party. And with this, if you set everything up in there, you don't have to worry about that. It's all going to be there. And because it's just that little bitty blurb right there, they're not going to, no one's going to know unless they're also in direct sales. And you can put in like 3 or 4 posts a day, but still pop in there and put an authentic picture of you. This is my look for the day, or this is what I'm doing, or whatever. That way you're still checked in. So, and obviously still commenting on things, still talking to your hostess, all of that good stuff. But I'm going to be using it just so that I don't ever, because I'm really bad about that. Or especially at the end of a party, like when we're getting to 7, 8, 9, 10, I'm like, what else do I talk about? What else do I say? Like, I feel like, unless the party's super interactive, but if you have a party that's not really interactive, it's easy to kind of feel like, what do I post? And with this, if your posts are already there, you don't have to worry about how you're feeling about the party. It's all going to be there. And you can take the time to get your script exactly how you want it to be. So I think that we want to let everybody ask questions. If anybody has any questions, right, Becca?
Yeah. If anybody
our meeting is going to end in just a few minutes, so it'll kick us off in 7 minutes, I think.
Okay. Did anybody have anything? Kim, do you have any questions? Comments?
Cheryl, can I just ask you about the not to linking everything? When you said with every post don't put a link on it, is that a link that is in the graphic, or is it the link that is typed in your comment above it, or both?
In your graphic, it's totally okay. It's in your comment. If
okay, yep.
Reads the link, then it's what you've written.
Yeah. Thank you.
And it's only if you're doing it everyone. So a lot of the people that I was talking to were saying that they post the link in their description, the group description or the event description, and then they only post the link every other day in the party, so that there's no worry about Facebook throwing them in jail.
Yeah. I usually do in the comments as well. I like to put mine there. In the beginning of the party, I have one post that I've made on WordSwag, and it's where do I shop? And I post here's the link, if you want to check out the products. And so there's that post, and every so often I'll like go and bump that post up. You can bump your post, by the way. This is something we always do. And I girl about this, you can like put like a little star or anything, it bumps it up, and then you can go delete your comments, so you don't look like you're bumping it, you're just bumping it, and then you deleted the comment, so it's back to the top, but it doesn't look really spammy, or you're not like bump like trying to get it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I will do that and kind of pop that post back up, so you're kind of posting it, but you're not having to repost it. And then in the comments, like every other post or something, I'll put like, here again is the link, like, because I think it's the worst when somebody comes to you and it's like, hey, where can I shop? And you're like, oh my gosh, like you didn't have the link. I'm sorry. Because I mean, somebody could actually like walk away from a party interested in a product but not purchase because they couldn't figure out how or where to shop. Like, we have to instruct them how to do that, so.
That's actually a fabulous idea, to put up a graphic and have it all there, and then just bump that on a daily basis. Then you don't have to repost it, but it's always bumped. That's fabulous. So Kim asked, how do we get a business page? It's on Facebook. I'm trying to remember exactly how you do
I
it.
don't remember how to.
Hold on, I'm going to look.
I might actually have a video on that from like when I first started Unique, because I had my business page first, then I went to a VIP group, and I like never posted my business page, but I know I should, so that's probably going to be on my to-do list.
Okay, so on your Facebook homepage, if you go on the side to where it says pages halfway down the page, I mean, now this is on a computer, so I don't know, I'll have to look on my phone too, but you click on pages, and then there's a button at the top that says create pages.
And I think it gives you like options, like what kind of page and all that stuff. You have to go through it. There's probably a YouTube video that you can watch too.
Yeah, I'll find the YouTube video and send you a link to it, Kim. Yeah, and the exact same thing if on your phone, if you go to the, like from your home page, you click over into the, whatever this is called. You can't even see it, so that doesn't do any good. But you click in a thing where it's got all your shortcuts and everything, and you click on pages, create page is the first option. The programs, the Hootsuite, the Share, and the Post My Party, it's to post your posts to your party for you, so that you don't have to get in there and do it. So that if you get distracted or busy or something comes up or an emergency, it still posts for you. Any other questions?
I think that's good.
Alrighty. Oh, one more thing. I have it written over here on the side, like on the sideways thing. This is something I always forget to do, and I've got to like put like on my ring light. I need to like write it in whatever, not Sharpie, but what's that called? Dry erase marker or something. Tell people to turn on their notifications. When you do your welcome video, your very, very first video, tell people to turn on their notifications for that group or that event. Because, sometimes people will watch your welcome video and think like, oh, I've got to go back and check that